everybody, JC here with another TNINews video. And today, let me just say happy April Fool's Day. I was actually going to start out doing an April Fool's joke here, a news video with an April Fool's joke. But turns out there's actually so much real news today that I decided to forego that. I did do an April Fool's prank on Marvelous News, which maybe you caught, but I'm not going to do a video this year trying to prank you guys. And probably by this point, by the time you're watching this video, you've probably come across so many different false articles and stuff that are April Fool's jokes that it wouldn't work anyway. You got to get those out early in the morning before everyone, before you start seeing all the different false news, fake news stories and stuff, because by the afternoon and such, people already know, it's April Fool's. But anyway, happy April Fools, guys. Everything I talk about today is real factual news, no April Fools here. And today's video is going to be a full-on Marvel news video, and particularly just going to be talking about, actually there's so much stuff that I'm not going to be talking about everything. There's Hot Toys, there's Lego, there's Funko Pop. I am going to be talking about some Funko stuff, but I'm going to be sticking primarily with SH Figuarts from Tamashii Nations and a couple of Funko things, and all regarding either Avengers Endgame or Spider-Man Far From Home. And then there are some other things that I'll get to later this week, some other Marvel stuff as well as other non-Marvel stuff that I'll get to later this week. But today, again, I'm going to focus on Spider-Man Far From Home, starting with the Funko Pop reveals that were made today. Now, I'm not really into Funko Pop, so to me, the most interesting thing about this news is that it appears that with Funko officially releasing these images and stuff, that means the information embargo for products for the upcoming Spider-Man movie has been lifted, which hopefully means that Hasbro will soon be revealing all their products, including what I'm hoping, some additional Marvel Legend figures. We'd previously seen at Toy Fair they were doing the Marvel Legends regular Spider-Man suit and the stealth suit, but hopefully there's a few more coming in the next wave, which will be out. The embargo, the release date for Spider-Man Far From Home products is going to be April 22nd, so we actually only have a few weeks until we should start seeing these products on shelves. And that goes for the Marvel, Hasbro stuff, and the Funko stuff, and Lego, and all of it. So now everybody might not get everything out right away. Like yesterday was the official release date for Avengers Endgame products, but not like I went out and I went around to a couple different Targets and Walmarts, and I didn't see really anything for Endgame. None of the stores around here. Now the stores around here all suck. I live like in the Bermuda Triangle of toys. I don't know what it is about this area, but I mean I live near a major metropolitan city, but finding new stuff around here is next to impossible. But the official release date technically was yesterday. Many online places put up all their stuff and so on and so forth. Okay, so, and real quick, I will tell you guys, at least at the time of this filming, for you Marvel Legend fans, that Walmart exclusive 2-pack with Loki and the Corvus Glaive figure is back and available. So if you've missed out on it, you can purchase it online. Now, I don't know how long it's going to last, and by the time you watch this, it may be gone already. But I will put a link to it so you can check it out, and hopefully you'll be able to grab one. Okay, but anyway, getting back to the Funko stuff and Spider-Man. So they released official images and information for all their Spider-Man Far From Home products. And we had seen some Lego images leak out last week, and I believe I talked about this in one of the videos last week. So really, there's nothing here that we didn't see in those Lego sets. And I will say that, if you've been trying to avoid all Far From Home spoilers, you might want to skip ahead. But being that these all seem to be predominantly featured in much of the product that's coming out before the movie, good luck on really trying to not know about this particular stuff. So anyway, with the Funko Pop figures, they're doing obviously Spider-Man, but the villains, they're doing Mysterio. Now Mysterio we've seen in the trailer, but then also Hydro Man and Molten Man. Now again, we saw these with the Lego sets as well. But, further confirmation that these two, they're being called the Elementals, will be in the movie. I am hoping that these two are going to make it into the Marvel Legend line, or I should say 3, because I want a Mysterio figure, which I think is almost a given. I can't imagine that Hasbro's not going to do a movie Mysterio figure, since I think he's the main bad guy. But I would also like to see a Molten Man, which probably would be a good Build-A-Figure, or even Hydro Man. Now, the thing about Hydro Man is, and I know I'm getting off track here, but with the Marvel Legends, in the wave that's coming up, we're getting a regular comic book-based Hydro Man. So I don't know if they're going to stick a movie Hydro Man and a comic book Hydro Man in the same wave, but we'll have to wait and see. And again, hopefully those reveals will be coming pretty soon, like this week. Now, for your store exclusives, you can head to GameStop and you can get a glow-in-the-dark Pop Molten Man. And then if you head to Barnes & Noble, there's going to be a glow-in-the-dark Hydro Man. And then if you go to Hot Topics, there's going to be a glow-in-the-dark Mysterio. I'm sorry, at Hot Topics is the unmasked Mysterio. And then you need to go to Walmart if you want to get the glow-in-the-dark Mysterio. So those are the exclusive Pop Vinyl figures that are coming. And then again, they'll do regular versions that'll be released everywhere. And strangely enough, at least like with the normal Pop Vinyl stuff, at least what they're announcing right now, there's like no Nick Fury. I would think Nick Fury would be in there, but no, not with the regular Pop Vinyl figures. Okay. So now while we're on the subject of Far From Home, this weekend we also got our first look at the SH Figuarts Spider-Man figure. This is the regular Spider-Man suit, that looks very similar to the tech suit he wore in Homecoming. It's got more black in it and such. But they are doing an SH Figuarts of that one. That's the only figure we know of, at least right now, that they're doing for the SH Figuarts line. But that looks like that figure is going to be released in August. Now, I don't have a whole lot of details on this figure. It was on display at this Marvel pop-up event that they're doing overseas. And so that's where this picture comes from. Tamashii Nations actually took this picture themselves, but this was out on display. So, and again, it looks very similar to the Homecoming figure. I can't say I'm terribly excited for it. Now, we will have to see what kind of accessories come with this thing. Sometimes that's what really makes these figures is the accessories. And with this, I don't think, I think there will it'll probably be your standard stuff like web lines and stuff like that, but maybe they'll throw in something cool as well. But as it is, just the figure itself, it just doesn't seem different enough to me. And I know I say this a lot with SH Figuarts, but it's true. I mean, with the price difference on these, for me at least, there really has to be something special about it for me to plop down that kind of money. Otherwise I just, I'd rather go with the $20 Marvel Legend figure. Okay, now while we're on the subject of Tamashii Nations, let's jump over to Avengers Endgame. And so this weekend they also released official images and information for all their, or at least their initial batch of Avengers Endgame figures. So they're doing a number of different characters. Now, to me, these are kind of mixed bags. Some seem better than others. But starting off, we're getting Thanos, and Thanos is going to be wearing his battle armor. And this is probably one of the cooler figures that we're seeing here. I definitely, am digging the look of it. I mean, obviously Hasbro did their Marvel Legend version, but I kind of like, I like the SH Figuarts Thanos they did for Infinity War a little better than Hasbro's version, and kind of same thing here. Now, it looks like he has two different head sculpts with different facial expressions, which we've seen before. And then also, unfortunately, it does not look like his helmet is removable or that we're getting an unhelmeted head. It would have been a nice touch if maybe the helmet was removable. Hot Toys also released some of their Endgame figures, which I'm not going to really focus on today. I will put a link to that story if you want to check those out on Marvelous News, and I will probably talk about those in an upcoming video later this week. But with the Hot Toys, I just want to point out the helmet on that one is removable. They're doing Thanos, but it does not appear to be the case with this SH Figuarts. Now, Thanos is going to be coming with that strange double-bladed weapon like we saw with the Marvel Legend version, and obviously that is going to be something that he uses in the upcoming movie. I don't know exactly what that is or why he needs a weapon like that when he has the Infinity Gauntlet, but I'm guessing at some point maybe he loses the gauntlet and has to pick this thing up and use it as a weapon. But like I always say, we'll have to wait and see. Now, that figure, basically these figures are going to be released in groups. So the first group of figures is going to be Thanos, Ant-Man, and Black Widow. Those are all coming out actually later this month, at least overseas. So that's the first batch of figures. Now, with the Ant-Man figure, now the figure itself looks pretty good here. No complaints as far as how the figure looks, but it also looks very similar to the one they did just recently for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Really, the only big difference I can see right off the bat is this one is going to include an unmasked Paul Rudd head, which the previous one did not have. So and that definitely looks really good. So if you want a good Paul Rudd unmasked head for your Figuarts line, then that might make this one worth picking up, even if you have the previous one. If you don't have the previous one, this is definitely a nice looking figure. I really like how, like on the helmet, you can make out his eyes through the red lenses and such. That's really nice detailing. So definitely I like that. The previous Ant-Man and the Wasp version came with the large ant. That's not included with this one, unfortunately. And then the third figure, Black Widow. This is actually probably my second favorite figure behind Thanos. I really like the way this Black Widow figure looks. Now, if you caught my review yesterday, where I reviewed the Marvel Legend version, the Quantum Suit 2-pack with Hawkeye and Black Widow, that's a Target exclusive, I had shown the head sculpt, and I like that head sculpt on the Marvel Legend version, but I did not actually realize that on the Marvel Legend version, it's just almost looks like a white paint at the tip of the ponytail, and I thought it was like something strange. I didn't realize it was supposed to be blonde hair. Like, obviously she changed her hair back from blonde to red. It was blonde in Infinity War, and now it's back to red, but for some reason she left the tip of it blonde, which you can clearly see with this SH Figuarts version. But with the Hasbro version, it did not look like it was supposed to be, blonde hair. It just looked like, she dipped her ponytail into some powdered sugar or something. I mean, honestly, it kind of threw me. Even though I kind of remember seeing some blonde hair mixed in with the red in the trailer, I didn't even think that it was supposed to be blonde hair, just because Hasbro really kind of missed the mark on that. But again, with this SH Figuarts version, you can definitely tell that that's what it is, that the tip of the ponytail has been left blonde, and then the rest of her hair is red. Now she's wearing the black suit. I like the red highlights on the black suit. I think that looks really good on this figure. And then she's got her batons, and I imagine it works very similar to the Infinity War version, where you get a larger pair and a smaller pair, and the smaller pair you can attach to her back like you see her do in the movie. She's got the pistols and everything. So again, this definitely seems like a pretty solid figure, and one of the better head sculpts I've seen from Figuarts. Now, the next batch of figures that they're doing are going to be coming out in May, and that's going to include Captain America. And this is another one that's kind of a miss for me. Not that the figure looks bad, really, but that it just doesn't look that different from the Civil War version. Some slight modifications to the suit, but overall this looks pretty similar to his Civil War costume. And doesn't even seem to come with the unmasked Chris Evans head like that previous one did. So again, if you have that Civil War figure, I'm not sure there's enough here to justify, plopping down the money for. If you don't, then this is definitely a cool figure. I like the Civil War figure. I think the Civil War figure was a great figure. So, and I assume this one will be very similar. So, if you don't have the Civil War version, then you might want to check this one out. The third figure is, or I should say the second figure in the second batch of figures coming out in May is going to be Iron Man, another Mark 50 Iron Man figure. So this is the third time that Tamashii Nations has released the Mark 50. We got kind of a basic version with a couple arm cannons. That was the first one they did. The second one, which is just now seeing release, at least overseas, has more of the weaponry, the blades and everything, the wings and such. And I was definitely looking to think about picking this one up, but now I'm kind of wondering, should I hold off and maybe just get the third version? I'm not entirely sure. The third version has additional weapons that we haven't seen before. And again, going back to the Hot Toys, they're doing Iron Man, and we see that same kind of configuration with that weird back cannon. So again, that's something I'm guessing plays we see in the movie. So both the Figuarts and the Hot Toys has that, and it looks kind of cool. It's got also arm cannons and stuff. So like I said, and I hope, since I haven't picked up the second one, I don't know 100%, but I assume that if you end up getting like all three SH Figuarts Mark 50 Iron Man figures, you can switch out the various weapon pieces with any of the three figures, so that you can essentially mix and match however you want. And then the third figure is Ronin, aka Hawkeye. Now this one to me is kind of disappointing, because again, very few accessories, unfortunately. It looks like basically you're just getting his two swords and a sheath. the hood even doesn't, I'm not sure is removable. There's no images showing indicating that the hood is removable here. So, and he doesn't have an unmasked head, which is also disappointing, and doesn't even have like a bow and maybe a quiver with arrows. So, definitely I feel like they could have added more to this figure to make it more appealing. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but I definitely feel like they should have added a few more accessories with this one. And then the final figure, which is going to be out in June, is another Iron Man figure. So, like we've seen in previous Avenger movies, this is the third time, I think, a third Avenger movie where he's had two different armors in the movie. First Avenger, he had two different armors. Age of Ultron, he had two different armors. And now in this movie, he didn't have two different armors in Infinity War, he just had the same one. But in this one, he's going to, looks like, have two different armors. And an interesting thing about this is they're calling it the Mark 85. So he jumps from Mark 50 to 85. That's quite a jump. I mean, he's made huge jumps before, but always assumed it's kind of just because of time, and he's done all these different suits. He's got the whole armor and stuff, most of which he supposedly destroyed in Iron Man 3, but, I guess he's still making quite a few Iron Man armors. But definitely it's kind of weird how he jumped from 50. You wouldn't think he would have had enough time to make that many advancements on his suit, but I don't know. Hopefully there'll be some kind of explanation for that in the upcoming movie. Now, this figure seems pretty basic. There's no kind of weapon attachments or anything. The biggest difference really from the 50 seems like it has a lot more gold in it. So, but otherwise, like I said, it's very basic. I believe they'll still have, your translucent effect pieces that you can plug into his repulsors and his jet boots and stuff like we always see with the SH Figuarts Iron Man figures. But again, there's not like these huge weapon attachments that you can put on the figure. And again, that figure is going to be out in June. So that's it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about here. What are you excited for? Again, I will be doing another news video probably on Wednesday, so hopefully you'll check that out. But again, I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything. What are you excited for? Are you hoping that we're going to see some cool Far From Home Marvel Legends? What would you like to build a figure for the next Spider-Man wave to be? Do you think it'll be a movie figure? Let me know in the comments section. As always, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And you can, of course, follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. Have links to those in the video description. Or you can head over to the Marvelous News message boards and catch me there. And you can also participate in the regular contests that we have going on there where you can win $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. If you haven't heard me talk about that before, definitely recommend you check that out, and I'll put the contest details in the video description. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.